Another thing are those aliases. PowerShell accepts incredible amount of aliases, just infinite number of aliases. What you can see here is the percent sign is an alias for each object. So it's a kind of looping through an array of objects. For the Unix freaks, we have an alias called ls, for example. That doesn't mean that there is a command that behind that. The command that is named get child item by browsing a directory. But there is an alias named ls. So whatever. The alias question mark is an alias for where we're going to filter object based on regular expressions or based on values. That's the most important thing if you're writing one-liner scripts, because the $_ is always the actual object you're looping through. So if you have an array from 4 names, do I remember 4 names? Sasha, Eric, Laura, of course. Okay, once again, Neil. If you have an array from 4 names, and we are looping through the array, for each name in the array names, we'll start with Laura, Eric, Neil, and Sasha. So, Eric is the first. It's this one. Next in the loop will be Laura, for example. So it's always the value which you're currently looping through in an array. The operators are, there are a lot more of operators, but these are the mostly used one. Match, like a filter for regular expression or just string matching. Equal, not equal. Contains, lower than, greater than. There are a lot of more here. Greater, equal, lower, equal, and so on. So if you take the process example again, get process, where the actual object, where we're looping through, has a property, the name property, which equals PowerShell. And our the process ID, so the actual object's PID, doesn't match our own PID. And what we're going to do here is we are going to kill all PowerShell processes which doesn't match our own process ID. Does that make sense? Anyhow? Well, we'll see it in life. So how do I know which commandlets are available after I install a snap-in? There are snap-ins for just everything. There's a snap-in for send desktop, send server, VMware, vSphere, and so on. Just type after you install the snap-in and register it in PowerShell. Just type get command -module and then the vendor of the snap-in. It will show you all commandlets which are available by installing or activating the snap-in. If you want to just show some partial snap-ins, for example, those where you can set something, write something down, you just can use wildcards here, as in this example. And if you want to know how a command that has to be executed exactly, which parameter have to supply in which order, you just type get-help and then the commandlet. For example, here we're gonna print out help for the get setup application server. There are some switches like details and examples where you can compare that to the man pages of Linux and Unix environments. Okay, so now we're going to have some real-world examples. An important thing to know is that important thing to know is that if you have an object like a process, and you want to see which properties this process have, which can be accessed, just type the process pipe and then get memory. You will see all the properties and methods this object does have. Of course, you can create your own object and your own properties. I'm going to demonstrate that because that's an important thing to know afterwards when we are accessing the object properties. So we're going to create a new object, like, imagine whatever. It's called E2E. And then we're going to add properties, members. We're going to add a member type from the type node property. It's called location, and the value is $. And we're going to create a property named grandfathers, and there are some members in this property. We're going to fill this up as an array. And if I execute the script now, it created the object. Please don't throw anything at me if I forgot to write your name here by the grandfathers. If I type here now E2E, it just shows me that we have an object which contains a member named location with the value $, and it contains a property with the name grandfathers. So if I gonna type here E2E, get member, it shows me those two properties I've created just before. The other ones are default properties. Could we make is there a possibility to make a little bit louder, the microphone?
Louder?
So I have not to
Oh no,
my hand here.
the way it hears you, that's fine.
Okay.
1 second, I'll adjust the screen.
It's okay like that?
Yes.
Yeah. One second, I'm adjusting the screen. Is that better? People in the back. I probably have to turn off the light. Why does it get like this? Did you change to 800 times 600, huh?
I had to change the resolution because of the live demonstration. Yes.
That's okay. I'll turn the light.
So if you go to the first product, we're going to take a Send server. How can I manage Send server from out of the PowerShell console? You download it from this link, you install the add-on, and then you register the snapping in PowerShell console. Registering the snapping is always add-b the snapping, and then a particular one or all of the window where you install the add-on. In this example, we are using the wildcard for Send server snappings. If you want to deal with 64-bit PowerShell session, this particular snapping has to be registered manually using this command. And then you're going to connect to Send server. You have to provide a URL, and of course it will ask you for credentials. I already prepared that, so we're going to move on faster. I have here a PowerShell session console where I just registered the snapping. You can see that if I type get PowerShell snapping, and you see that there is a Send server PowerShell snapping registered. So let's take some real-world examples. We have some VMs on this Send server which are powered off, I like to all of them being powered on. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to execute the command let get send server VM that will show me all virtual machines. I'm going to filter it where the property power state of each virtual machine I'm getting equals halted, and it is not a template. I don't want to power on templates. And then I'm going to format it as table. Going to try that out. Just paste in here, and it shows me 3 virtual machines which are in power off state. So I want to power that on. That's just another piping. We are currently here, and now I'm going to add this one. So for each object he did found for me, I want to invoke the command that invokes send server VM start. And to be honest, I have the 3 VMs here in the send center. You can see that they are powered off. I'm going to paste the code, and now it's starting these 3 VMs. So simple and stupid, but it's always a nice example how you can automate things in 2 lines. I have to move a little forward, so I'm not going to show you another sensor example. I'm going to move to vSphere, because we have VMware here. I changed my presentation and included something about VMware. I have done a lot of scripting around vSphere integration with PowerShell. One example which I'm using mostly is about the snapshot management, because customers they are usually not aware with dealing snapshots, where you have dozens of administrators which are able to creating snapshots. You have a snapshot hell, and they wanted a script where they can pinpoint the snapshots which are older than 5 days, inform the administrator, the owner of the snapshot, and if it gets not deleted after 8 days, it will be deleted automatically, something like that. Here again, you have to install the PowerShell CLI, that is also a snapping, an add-on, download it, and register it. After that, you can connect to your vCenter. Here you have a complete command reference if you want to know how each command has to be executed. Now I'm gonna show you an example here. I want to count all the virtual machines per data store. And you know there is, if you are using SAN with LUM technology, there are some limitations. Don't put more than X, Y machines on LUM. So I'm going to count that for you. I'm going to open the session where I already registered the VMware snap-in. Now it takes a while because my vCenter isn't that fast. And so it counts me how many VMs I have per data store, and additionally it shows me the capacity and free space of this of the data stores. You can easily convert this output to a HTML format, or CSV format, or XML. Another example was DRS is not function. DRS does not work if you have connected devices like CD-ROMs or floppy drives. So again, if you have a lot of administrators which are able to connect those devices, you would run into a situation